Welcome back, everyone, to yet another Canadian Cock Talk on the Spurs Up Show. You already know it, the best home of all your Gamecocks content on the internet. Welcome back to another episode, guys. I'm so happy to have you here. Happy Tuesday. And we had a good weekend for the Gamecocks. I know the football team wasn't playing, sadly. Our bowl game got canceled on the 26th, and we haven't seen Gamecock football in a very, very long time. Actually, a month from today, because I'm pretty sure December 5th was the last game we had, and is now currently January the 5th, so it's been a month since football season ended, but we finally got to see the basketball boys back out on the court. It was great to see that. It was a bit of a shaky win versus Florida A&M, not gonna lie. I felt shades of that Stetson game last season. It wasn't a convincing win. It wasn't a win that makes you feel really hopeful for the season, but a win is a win, and the Gamecocks, we were dealing with COVID issues. We had Keyshawn Bryan out, we had TJ Moss out, we had Alonzo Frink out. All those guys were out, and we were still able to go out there and pick up the win. So when push comes to shove, if you're able to win every single game of the season, no matter how you win the games, you're going to be the national champion. So just keep winning ball games, and we'll be happy. Another great thing that the Gamecocks, Saturday night Sugar Bowl. Man, we owe Justin Fields drinks every single time he comes to Columbia, South Carolina. What a game. Honestly, one of the most fun games I've had all season watching NFL and college. It might be the most fun game that I had watching. Like, I was having so much fun watching that game. Every single time that Justin Fields made a touchdown pass, he was unbelievable. Man, for getting crushed in the ribs by James Skalski to be able to come back and have the performance he did. Kudos to him. Kudos to Ryan Day. Kudos to the whole Ohio State Buckeyes defense, because they were amazing. I've seen a ton of Gamecocks fans. I have no clue where this came from, but saying, like, I would much rather Clemson win this game than Ohio State, which, just in my opinion, I hate Clemson. Bottom line, there's nothing else in this world I hate more than the Clemson Tigers. And that's not saying, like, I'm not trying to disrespect their fans or anything, but it's just the team in general. You know, it's a rivalry. It's how the Palmetto Bowl works. I do not like Clemson. And for some people to say that they'd rather Clemson win than Ohio State, they must have something against Ohio State that I just don't see, because there's no chance that I'm cheering for Clemson over any team in college football unless some crazy, crazy scenario happens where the Gamecocks need a Clemson win. That is the only time I'll ever cheer for the Clemson Tigers. Other than that, whoever is playing the Clemson Tigers is my favorite football team, bottom line. And then, what else do we got? We had NFL playoffs just wrap up NFL regular season just wrap up this weekend. We got some Gamecocks going to the playoffs. Of course, I'm wearing my Jadeveon Clowney jersey. He is going to the playoffs, sadly. Not with this team, not with the Houston Texans. He's going with the Tennessee Titans. Who else do you got from the Gamecocks going? You got the Chiefs. So Rashad Fenton will be there again, and he'll probably come home with another ring. But enough about the NFL. Let's get into this Gamecocks game on Wednesday, coming up against the Texas A&M Aggies. A day away. This is a really late start for a basketball game in South Carolina. This is a 9 o'clock start, and I'm pretty sure this game is coming to you on ESPNU, so that's where you can get the game. South Carolina Gamecocks, the 2-2 South Carolina Gamecocks against the 6-2 Texas A&M Aggies. A bit of a game difference there. The Aggies have played double the games that the Gamecocks have, which is just weird to think about, because usually in a normal season we play the same amount of games. We'd have a full non-conference schedule before going into SEC play, but not this season, not with COVID. The coronavirus just said that ain't going to happen, so we have slight disadvantage going into the game just straight off the bat, having played less games, having some COVID issues and everything. But it is what it is. The boys are going to go out there. Frank Martin's going to have his boys go out there and play hard on the court, and we'll see what happens. I'm feeling really good about this game. Now let's take a little bit of a look into Texas A&M this season. Texas A&M is a team that will score on you with the guard specifically, rather than outside of their star player, of course, Miller, who is a forward. He's going to be that big presence. He's averaging 17.1 points a game so far this season. What has Texas A&M done this year? They beat UNO, who I'm not actually sure who that is. They've beat Tar, I don't know who that is either. They beat a bunch of no-name schools. The only school worthwhile that is a substantial win or a good quality win, they did beat the Auburn Tigers last weekend. I'm pretty sure 68-66. They had also beat the Wofford Terriers 70-52. We know a lot about Wofford because they are also from South Carolina. So they've won 2 good games. They also lost to the LSU Tigers recently. Texas A&M is a team that is definitely going to be beatable. They are definitely one of the weaker teams in the SEC this season, even though they are sitting at 4th overall in the SEC right now. they're kind of a one-trick pony with Miller right now. Like, if you look at the rest of the statistics for the Texas A&M players, after Miller, who averages 17.1 points a game, you got 12 points a game, which is Quentin Jackson. Then Andre Gordon averaging 9.6, Flag averaging 8.4, and then the rest from there really, really dips off. So they're one-trick pony. Got to take Miller out of the question. Got to have a big game for our big. So that's going to be Wildens Levesque. That's going to be Keyshawn Bryant's not going to be in, I don't think. Jalen McCreary, he's going to have to get in there big. A lot of guys like that. All of our big guys, make sure you lock up Emmanuel Miller because he's going to be the main guy for Texas A&M in this game. No question about it. Also, he's leading the team in rebounds with 8.6. You got to get on the glass. Last game, I thought we did an unbelievable job, especially on the offensive glass. The Gamecocks did amazing offensive glass. A guy, Justin Minaya, man, that guy fights for the ball hard. He is such a fun player to watch. He's not the tallest guy. He knows that, but he's just going to out-effort everyone. And there were some times in that game where Justin Minaya, just using his effort, was able to make big plays to get the Gamecocks the ball back, or just get the ball back into the Gamecocks' hands, make baskets, whatever it is, take the ball away. He's a player that I'm really liking this season. And even though he's not going to be the guy who's going to be your superstar, he's not going to make the highlight reel, he's someone that every single team needs, who's just a guy who's going to go out there and hustle and play hard and make those dirty plays. Like, not dirty in the sense that he's taking a guy down, but dirty in the sense where you're going to go in there, you're going to get physical, you're going to fight for that ball. Justin Minaya, outstanding performance from him last game. I was really, really impressed from him. So a guy like that, going to have a big performance. Of course, my buddy from Brampton, Ontario, AJ Lawson. We're both Canadian. Love to see it. AJ Lawson led the team last game in points. I think he had around 23. He's also going to have a massive game for the Gamecocks. I'm not saying that he has to put up 23 points, but definitely over 15 I think is definitely reasonable for AJ Lawson. Jermaine Couisnard, same thing. If Jermaine Couisnard and AJ Lawson could both get going in the same game, the Gamecocks are really, really something special, because when those two are on with their three-point shooting, you got something really special. You got some points coming down for the Gamecocks, and a team that really specifies on defense. If you're able to also put the ball in the hoop a lot and score a lot of points, this team is going places. Hopefully that we can have a really good SEC play stretch to be able to maybe squeak in to one of those NCAA tournament spots. I'd love to see that. Love to see the boys back in the tournament, although it's going to be tough without the non-conference schedule this season. One thing that I've really liked to look at for all different sports, for all different games, is the ESPN Power Index Predictor. I've looked at those for all the games. I just like to break it down. Right now, the Gamecocks, ESPN has the Gamecocks at a, let me pull this up. Give me a second, guys. There we go. Now we're back. 65.1% chance for the Gamecocks to win this game, with the Aggies at a 34.9% chance. This game is coming to you from Colonial Life Arena. So even though it's not a full home game, because we're not going to have full capacity fans, I'd much rather it be at home than having to travel to Texas, because if our football team shows anything about traveling to Texas and playing in Texas, we are not a very, very good team when we play in Texas A&M. So I definitely like this game being at home. It's a lot easier to play at home and not have to travel, especially the long distance to Texas, to College Station. So I really like our chances in this game. I think the boys are going to come out firing. I think that they're going to be really good defensively. There were some defensive miscues and just some mental errors. You saw some by Trey Hannibal in that game, where it's just dribbling up court, you're not paying attention to the defenders or whatever, they go and take the ball away, able to get an extra basket. So it's just stuff like that. It was your first game in a month. I think that's going to be cleaned up by this game, and I think the Gamecocks are going to win in this game. So I'm taking the Gamecocks in this one. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Canadian Cock Talk, guys. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching, and as always, definitely come back next time.